Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about the tornado that hit the community of Arnold, Missouri, the home of the ABV Barrel Shop, on Friday, March 14th, 2025. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Adam Stump, Brian Thompson, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
What's happening?
Come on, guys.
Hey-oh, so yeah, I mean, this was all going down a week from today as we record this, not as the show comes out, but as we record this, it was just 1 week ago. And yeah, some crazy stories, and it's just, we'll talk about it. First time I've ever been involved, being anywhere near a tornado, and I ended up finding myself right in the middle of it. I'll get to that whole story where I personally got, I was a storm chaser at one point, or at least in a storm, and yeah, and what's going on, and no matter what, and even there's a lot of damage, and Arnold is still recovering. Will be recovering for a long time. At the end of the day, thankfully, no one was injured in Arnold. No one was killed in Arnold. And we did have 12 deaths across the state of Missouri. So certainly other communities have had to deal with that, and that's just a travesty. It's terrible. I'm thankful none of our neighbors, friends, customers were injured, and we'll get to how close that was to happening. So it's kind of harrowing when I get into our personal story of how we were there, because we were at the shop when this happened. So crazy to think about. But we'll get to that after the break. For right now, Tim said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, sir?
So, Steve, we had a situation on the Bourbon Daily Show number 3073.
Yes.
That was we believe to be an alleged audible fart.
Yes.
We've confirmed it was from the Neely microphone.
Mm-hmm.
The Bourbon Daily Flatulence Evaluation Committee has come down with a ruling, though.
Okay. Because they weren't cooperative, were they?
No, they were not. Becca did not, and this is interesting. We got to call witnesses because
Right.
we actually had people in the room with the said individual that we believe came from them. There were 2 people there.
Right.
So both Royce and Becca were called as witnesses. Becca did reply saying that she doesn't fart, so it had to be Royce.
Right.
So, at that point, Steve, you actually made a motion to deem Becca Sue as a hostile witness, which the committee agreed, and demanded that she answer the question, which she refused to do so, but with a laugh emoji.
You never make fun of the court. I mean, come on.
No. So after multiple audio sessions, determining what's going on here, and actually looking at a larceny bottle that was handed to Royce. I had a larceny bottle look at it.
Uh-huh.
The general also was consulted on this too as well.
Okay.
And it was determined that it was the bottle being dragged and picked up by Becca Sue across the desk.
Oh.
Not passing of gas by Royce Neely. That Becca, she alleged immediately that it was Royce's fault. So Royce, if you're out there listening to the show, I would be very concerned if something goes down. Becca's going to blame you for everything.
Sure,
so be
sure.
prepared for that.
Right. Yeah.
But I will say there was a lot of interesting comments. I mean, there were very few because, as Bob Litchlach said, this is a tough crowd. You can't get away with anything.
Uh-huh.
And that's absolutely right. That is absolutely right with this crowd. We are always listening. There were some nice comments from some other folks on there. Did we pay a premium for smell-o-vision? And from Tom Leonard. And no, Tom, the technology hasn't been approved yet, but I did run the audio through both Claude and ChatGTP to determine if either one of those determined if there was flatulence, and it was inconclusive on their analysis on both AI engines.
Are these documents going to be sealed, or are they available to the public?
They're available with a Freedom of Information Act request to the flatulence.
It feels like an FBI file. It's
highly redacted.
It's so intense.
Yeah.
I think Trump's probably going to release these files.
Right. Yeah. Well, there'll be an executive order coming down where the ABV network has to release these. So yeah.
So for all the listeners out there, if you do want to go back to episode 3073 at the 1051 mark, you can listen to the event. But we do not only are we requesting people to make sure you listen, focus on the content, but make sure that you are listening for various different cues and clues on different types of bodily functions, this, that, or the other. And I even flash back to the time when Mr. Stump was on, and I was walking around my house listening to the Bourbon Daily. This is Melbourne, the pandemic, and I keep on hearing a smoke detector going off.
Yeah, he just lets it go. We're a professional show. Right.
And I'm walking around my house checking all my smoke detectors, and I realized it was his house.
Yeah.
So we did not claim damages in that situation, so Adam wasn't sent an invoice for my personal time.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad that your smoke detector batteries are up to date.
Yeah. So Tim, I know when Tim has a slow work day because he is giving us multiple shows, all of his analysis, and I'm like, please send an email or do something. What are you doing?
McNew doesn't like when they're pointed towards her. She suddenly thinks Tim needs to get busy at work. She's calling his office.
It's work. Don't leave me out.
There are a couple concerning details in Tim's analysis there.
Okay.
One is that the Bourbon Daily listeners listen so closely. That's
right.
frightening me right there. That is frightening when I think back to some of the shows.
Sure.
But kudos to them. The other bit is I've never drug a bottle across a table that sounded like a fart.
Right.
So clearly someone in the back farted.
Oh,
it's just a matter of who it was.
She's getting a pass here. I also want to go into the record as we go through this. This is the second accusation of Becca passing gas during a show, and she's gotten away with both. The first one she claimed was a leather chair she was sitting in. It was the leather. And then, and now the second one is it's a bottle thing. At some point, there's a pattern of behavior here that we have to see if there's a real problem
it's
here.
It's questionable, and it must be addressed. The next one she's going to blame it on is Dean. And Dean gets thrown under the bus. We know that we're really stretching for alibis.
Right. So yeah.
Well, I mean, Royce is a pretty good alibi. I imagine he passes gas on a daily basis.
Oh, sure, I'm sure.
So
there's no doubt there. But
he's a relatively good alibi, all things considered.
Yeah. It just, if you listen to the audio though, it doesn't seem like because he was he says moments beforehand, crack it open or something. What he say?
Go to the records. He does say Royce Neely just prior to said event states, "What do you got for me, Becca? Pop me one." and then after there is an audible noise that was alleged to be flatulence, and he says, "Ooh," after that. So
see, I think there's some sort of fetish going on there, and those two are doing something. And then they're like, "Shit, that was on the air. We gotta back this thing up." And then they start working on their story, So
for the record, I am impressed and a bit scared as to Swyatt's research he's done on this and the notes the copious amount of notes he has taken.
I just imagined him with like a legal pad, like.
I gotta tell you, I was listening to it, so I didn't have my headphones on this time. It was just coming out of a portable speaker, sitting at my desk, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, what was that? Let's replay this. I want to say about 20 times. I was listening very intently, and I said, you know what? I'm throwing the flag. We're convening the committee. It
I feel
was
like
quite entertaining. But a lot of analysis was done, and even trying to replicate said sound off of a wood desk with a larceny bottle, it is inconclusive. So I think Becca Sue gets off the hook again, but Becca, we are watching and listening.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Adam?
I think you could dang near double your Bourbon Daily podcast count if Tim would do a third person narration of every show. It would be a pretty solid thing.
Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh, there's some
exactly.
goodies. There were some gems, and Dreezy dropped a few gems. We learned. We also learned from Akeley. He does not like the word creamy.
I know,
especially when freshly pulled.
And behind
Look at
me,
him. He's anxious already.
like if something's on the menu that says creamy, I'm like, oh, I don't want that. I'm with
McNew and I are in this one together, so that's good. Yeah.
That will absolutely make me not order that item. It could be like mac and cheese that I love, and it'll say creamy. I'm like, fucking pass, gross, done, Brendan.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with the billionaire. The billionaire. I did another analysis of his financial situation, and some guy got mad. He's like, "That's not even close to being a billionaire." You know.
We all know that. It's a nickname for a reason. It's a nickname for wrong reasons. I'm starting out the night, the show with a little Whistling Andy Harvest Select from up there in Montana.
Okay.
So,
all right, little Whistling Andy. All right. Explosive.
Quiet.
Explosive.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Expect
all
nothing
right.
more.
All right. Adam, what do you got?
I have got some, this is The Beautiful and the Damned. It is The Diplomat. It's a 7-year rye from MGP.
Okay. Barely audible. That's our lead right now. And it's a sad state that that's
depressing.
the lead. Yeah. McNew, you're next. What do you got?
I'm gonna go some piggyback rye.
Okay. Okay. That has taken over. And again, pretty bad. All right, Tim, you're next.
I'm sure I'm going to win this one with some Grand Teton private stock single malt.
Okay.
That's why on the set.
Okay.
Wow.
Another new leader. That was explosive for this particular show, but not in
I got a
general.
chance.
Yeah. I got the famous JD14. JD14. Yeah. Yeah. That's real. Look at that. Look at
That's real.
All right. Here we go. Squeaky, but enough.
Squeaky, but quite 10 times more audible than the first 4.
Yeah. That's it may have been our worst cork pop win ever, but it is a win.
Cheers, everyone.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the tornado story. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
My teeth doesn't like ice cream. This is McNew, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
That's a pro. That's a pro right there. Take McNew.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the recent Arnold tornado.
Yes, we are. So, quite a bit of destruction in Arnold, and and we had power out for 2 days. Most of Arnold was out of power for 2 days. Even when you start seeing big stores like Walmart or our grocery stores being closed, there's problems. I mean, that's not the norm. Usually they've got ways to get them back up and running, but they were closed, and as were we. And like I said, most of the town. The road going either way outside of the shop was closed. So that's another factor there that for a day and a half that was closed. So just power lines down and then crews working on the power lines. So yeah, it was not a good situation at all. Adam, and you're right across the river. It did, of course, the storm does cross the river. What was the sort of damage around where you live?
They think that the Arnold tornado went through like just south of us. It knocked it definitely weakened as it came across the river. I think our biggest thing was power lines fell down across Route 3. So it was
that's a major thoroughfare in the area of Southern Illinois.
Between Columbia and Waterloo, it's like 20,000 cars a day. So it was they had them rerouted onto back roads. So there were some not so thrilled people that lived back there.
Yeah, I'm sure. So how it goes down for us, and again, our story is, you're talking about people who lost their whole homes, businesses damaged, there's still many businesses that aren't open yet and aren't going to be open for a long time. So I want to preface this by saying that anything I'm saying in terms of what we had to deal with is nothing compared to what others, but I'm just telling our story here. So we were there. We were at the ABV Barrel Shop. We had a movie night. We were at the Speakeasy, so actually on the other side. We weren't in the shop itself, but next door to it. And we hear this coming up, and of course, just as the movie's ending, the sirens are going off and that, and we're like, oh, well, let's go home. And we assumed it's pouring down rain. We open up the door, and I'm like, it's not even raining yet. Let's get out of here and let's go home. So head out, and Darren said, hey, he's worried. He has a little bit longer of a drive. Darren, who works for us, so he said, I'm just going to ride this thing out here because I don't want to get caught in it halfway home and have to deal with that. So he stays. The rest of us go. So there's at this point it's me and the warden. And then there's Dave and Pam Hoyle, and then Tim Howard. We had one other guy that was there with us. He had left earlier. His family, he's got a couple young kids, and they called and said, "Hey, you should come home, Daddy." So he did. He left. He had left earlier. But so as soon as I say let's go, it opens up, and I mean it is raining buckets. It's raining like I've never seen before. It's coming down, and it's blowing around. There's all this debris and stuff. I mean, there's obviously, siding and soft fascia stuff and all, just trash and parts of fences and all this. It's all blowing around out there. And, so I was like, well, we're close. I mean, I live, about 4 miles from there, and I just got to cross the river and get home. It's no big deal. I just got to get in the car. And even if it's raining, it's pretty light traffic out there. And I thought, I know my way home. I could do this blindfolded. I'm maybe doing it kind of blindfolded, but we'll get there. So we leave. We have to dash to the car, get soaked. One of the things that I noticed right away was I was having a hard time getting the trailing leg. You step into a car and you got the one leg still on the ground, and then you have to sit down, and then you can pull your leg in. I'm holding both with both hands, and I can barely keep it open. It's closing on me, pushing where it's hitting my leg, and I got to get my leg in here. It's that sort of force that I'm dealing with here, and I get it in. Of course, as soon as I let my hands off, the door slams shut. And, I see stuff flying off our roof. The Hoyles were parked across from me. Something comes down and hits Dave's car off the roof. Turns out it was just the roof. That roof comes off that building. We don't know this is happening at the time. This is all happening in real time. We're just trying to get the hell out of there with buckets of rain. And so we proceed to the top of the plaza there, take a right, and there's a guy in front of us. Which is okay. Then, you can kind of see tail lights, and, it's hard to see, but, he's blocking for us, I look at it like that. But then he starts slowing down, because I had seen this fireball, and I thought he's slowing down because he saw that fireball. It hit like a transformer or something, this fire in the sky. It's just this big crash noise, and then you see this just fire in the sky. I was like, shit, that just hit a transformer. And he starts, slowing down to so much point where he's slowing down to a stop just about on Jeffco Boulevard, which is a major road there outside the shop. And we're talking, this is a block away from the shop. I'm not very far here. There's the next, if you've ever been to the shop, the next thing down is a Walgreens. You can see it from our store. We're talking about right by that, in front of that. So because this guy's slowing down, here comes another guy up Jeffco Boulevard. He just whips around us. And then the other guy comes to a full stop, and that was in front of me. So I was like, I'll just go around him too. As I do that, the warden screams, "The power lines are down, and they're across the road. We can't go this way." And of course, I see the other guy lock it up. He locks it up. He's going too fast. He locks it up. He was able to stop, and I saw him start to turn around, so he's okay. I turn around just on pull a U-turn right on Jeffco Boulevard. I'm going the other way because there's another way out. I can go up the highway, and I can hit 141 and go to catch Highway 55, and just take a longer way, but I can get around that way. Not a big deal. And I'm driving, and again, we both see it at the same time. Of course, the warden's yelling, "There's the power lines are down. This is the other way we're going now." We had passed the shop, and the other way, power lines are across the road. But this one, they're broken, and they're all kind of piled up in front of it. But there's also kind of broken where they're hanging, and probably 4 feet off the ground. And my car, literally, because I lock it up then, my car is underneath these power lines. They're if I go through it, if I would have kept going, then we're just going to get entangled in, I don't know, live power lines, I guess. I have no idea. So I back it up, and I was like, we're going back to the shop. Well, it's harrowing. I can't see. It's coming down so hard. The side windows, it's like looking through a waterfall. You can't really see. And I miss I'm like, I can't see the entrance to get in. I missed the shop because I had U-turned after getting out of the power lines. U-turn. I blow past the shop. Shit, I missed the entrance, so I U-turn it one more time on Jeffco Boulevard. Not recommended ever to U-turn on Jeffco, but this was nothing going on there. And I roll down my window. Now the rain's coming in, but I don't have a wall of water where I have to look through, so I can see at least. And I pull in there and get in there, and there's Darren, and still at the shop. We go in there and hang out with him. The power's gone off, of course, in the shop by this point. There's emergency lights. Thankfully, our fire lights are on, and they're on batteries, so you've got a certain amount of time where you've got some light in there. It's dim, but you can see. So we just sit there, and I thought, I got to call Tim Howard, and I got to call the Hoyles and make sure they're okay. But I don't want to bother them while this is going on, because I don't want to answer a phone call and be talking while this stuff's happening. So I'm like, I'm not going to bother them. I'm going to give them like 10 minutes. That would get them home. And I called both of them after waiting it out for a few minutes, and they were okay. And and they made it home. Harrowing drives for them too, but they made it, which is good. And then so we just rode it out with Darren, trapped in the store because both sides were shut down. There's no way out. But what I did is the police come onto the scene, and they're stopping people on the road and all kinds of stuff. I went and talked to one of them. He told me that down by that Walgreens, which was one of the areas we could go, the road actually connects all the way to Telegraph, which takes us into the town that I live in, Oakville. Just kind of, it would be the back way then, but I can get in there. So that's what I did. But we sat through there, and it was crazy. As we're sitting there, we start hearing the rain getting louder and louder. Well, we realize it's raining in the shop, in the speakeasy at this point, in the back hallway. It's coming in. At first, we were like, it's really hitting that metal door. It's loud. But we can't really see because, again, we're just down to firelights. It's pretty dark. But we take our cell phones back there, see that. We get buckets. from both sides. It's not leaking at all on the barrel shop side, which is good. It's leaking there. We put down these 5-gallon buckets. We emptied those things 3 times. They were filling up that quick. That's how much water's coming in there. So it almost worked out well that we were there and able to do that. Who knows how bad, that could have been more damage, or God knows what happened. So that worked out, and we waited and went home. But man, the whole roof got taken off the other building by us. The air conditioners got knocked over on our roof. So we do have air conditioner problems. We got to get that fixed. We'll see what happens. Somebody has like a trailer right behind the shop that ended up in the ravine, the creek. So it's like behind the shop, it's like a small little area to drive behind the shop, and then there's a small little wooded area with a creek, and then you've got residential. And somebody who lives on the residential side their RV trailer ended up in that creek. Turned around, by the way. So it got lifted up, turned around, and dropped into the creek, which is wild. One of the houses right behind ours got they had like a sunroom, or 3-season room, and that all got taken off, and some of their deck and their roof, and it's just terrible. And then it's just weird to see the damage. Like we have at the top of our the exit where I went out onto Jeffco Boulevard, there's a Captain D's on one side, and then there's a Lee's Chicken on the other side. The Captain D's got devastated. They're still not open. The Lee's Chicken, nothing happened. They were, as soon as they got the power back on, they were back open. So it's just weird how that stuff hits, and it just dodges here and there and hits things, and it's crazy. But it was a harrowing day, man. I mean, and like I said, driving down Jeffco, there was a trailer that would park near the high school, and it was from like a glass company, and I guess that's what they take their windows out when they're doing stuff like that. That thing got on the move, must have got lifted up and went through their metal fence. And they have like one of those iron fences. It crashed through there. I don't know. I assume up in the air and got dropped, I guess. I don't have any idea. Like traffic lights got taken off and dropped in like other businesses. Like the businesses called and said, hey, we've got a traffic light here in our parking lot. You guys might want to pick up. So they pick them up and hang them back up. You can see they're all shitty now and that because they've been going through a storm, but they're hanging back up, waiting to get fixed. And so yeah, it's been crazy, man. So but at the end of it, like I said, I have no complaints. We're fine. We have some damage at the speakeasy side. We can fix that. Everyone's safe. I mean, that's all that matters. I mean, you put that stuff into perspective, and even the warden was like, damn it, why didn't we leave 5 minutes earlier or something? I was like, well, what happens if we leave 5 minutes earlier, and that's when those power lines fall and they hit, us? We might be dead. Let's be happy that it worked out how it did, because everything's fine. Everything's good. We're all alive. We're good.
Yeah. And Steve, you don't have a heavy car. Like, you have a little car. Like, I know the Hoyles are in a truck. Like, are in a truck. Like, that's so scary to even think about.
Yeah. I just have a little Elantra. So, yeah.
See, that's a frightening story, man. I'm glad everyone in the circle here is okay. I know you said 12 people passed away around the state. God bless them and rest in peace, right?
Yeah.
But goodness, that is a frightening experience, right? What was your heart rate going through all this, and what was the warden's heart rate, and how was her demeanor while you were driving through?
Yeah, I wish I should have got on my phone and recorded a message saying, if I die, the man lived as he died. His wife was yelling at him.
My shoulder hurts because she's punched me 5 times.
Yeah. So she's yelling, she's panicking. I'm just trying to be like hyper focused. There's no radio on or anything like that. I'm just focused on driving and looking and because it's one of those deals where the wipers go, and I've got them on as high as you can, and you can see for like a millisecond where things come into focus, then everything goes back out of focus, and that's the sort of driving that you're dealing with. And that's how I overshot a place that I go in every day, and there's multiple entrances, but I was like, I missed that one, I'll get the next, and it's like you just can't see, and you're still trying to drive. So that's when I turned it around, I just rolled down the window. I was like, okay, I can see now, I can get in there. So it was just terrible. So
good Lord.
Yeah, I'm glad Darren decided not to leave.
You lived in Missouri your whole life, man, and that's kind of Tornado Alley there, isn't it? And have you come this close before?
That's what they, that's what they say. And I would have, I don't know, 10 years ago said it's really been nothing like that. I can't think of any, go back 10 years and in reality, they all were just too populated and they lose their steam by the time they got here. But I don't know if it's a weather thing. It's just, the way things go, it's cyclical that, cause I don't, if you talk about those type of things, people want to make it political. I don't want to make it political at all. I just know that recently we've had some really bad storms. It goes back to, there was one on New Year's Day, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Adam may remember that too, where they had some really bad damage. That was like the first one, and then we've had some bad storms here.
We had one in 2022 where it was at derecho or whatever, and Columbia was out of power for I think 4 or 5 days, something like that, right around 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The middle of that derecho was coming over Chicago. You guys got because it spread out and it widened out. We were watching the clouds split right by our house that night.
Wow.
I was sitting on my porch just watching the clouds were just splitting. It was clear sky, like in the middle, and then as you see the clouds just spreading and splitting in front of us.
That's a solid Midwesterner right there. We're sitting on a porch having a porch beer watching.
Exactly.
But so Indiana too is like Tornado Alley, but it's changed in the last couple of years because I'm central Indiana. We used to get I remember being a kid, tornadoes all the time every March. Now as an adult, they seem more south. Like it is like Henryville and Louisville, Jeffersonville gets them more than like central Indiana does. It's changed for some reason.
Yeah.
But
there's definitely been a change, and so we've definitely been getting more of them, and they've been stronger, and So I just thought I was a guy who never. I never went to the basement or anything like that before, but
I've always
you go outside.
Right.
Was there like a lot of noise other than the rain?
There was, besides the rain, it's just so much stuff flying around. I mean, it's just like constant. If you can imagine, like metal stuff from roofs and from businesses underneath, all that stuff is flying around and dragging, and it's just constant noise and loud, and but nothing like they say like a tornado noise or sometimes
freight train. It sounds like a freight train running.
I didn't get to that. At least
you didn't have that.
No.
Well, Steve, remember I was in St. Louis that weekend too, and I was downtown.
Right.
So we were staying right next to the convention center, having dinner inside. We were away from the windows and everything while this is going on. We're watching like 17 documented seen tornadoes on the ground across the St. Louis area. I mean, more was pushed up north, but I see that one still go right over Arnold. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm I'm texting you guys what's going on, what's happening, this, that, and the other. We watched a car get blown off Washington Street right in downtown. Got blown off the road into a fire hydrant, blew out a fire hydrant right in front of the hotel. Right before we were watching live, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Right.
It was Tim. The same storm last week.
Yeah. He was there when that was going on. Yeah.
Oh. Wow. And then,
is it unusual to have a storm this size in March, or is that kind of normal?
For March, normal because the weather
changes
so drastically in March. I think it's normal for the Midwest, but
if the barrels like it means we're going to get weird weather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just been crazy. Like I said, we're doing something tomorrow at the shop, but of course that'll be over by the time the audience is hearing this. But I'm going to a bunch of local bakeries, buying stuff, and we're just giving it away at the shop tomorrow, just to support. People have been really great to us. They've come in and say, we were, of course, one of the first posting we're opening back up because we didn't have damage inside the store. We just had to get our electric on, and we did that. And people started coming in and saying, "Hey, we just want to support you. I've never been in here before, but I'm going to buy a bottle." So
that's there's some silver lining there for sure.
Yeah.
What was Darren's demeanor when you guys walked in after being gone for 25 minutes?
It was all by himself without power. He freaked out. So I think he thought he was getting ready to get killed. So
right,
probably so happy to see you.
Right, yeah. He didn't know it was us, and then as soon as he did, he's fumbling around to get the door open for us because of course he's locked and hunkered down in there. Oh, no one's here.
I bet, right?
Yeah. So
wow.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so.
No,
and then how long did you stay at the shop until you got to go home?
Well, quite a long time. So we were probably there, another couple hours because it was just raining so hard. We wanted to deal with the shop, with it coming in the ceiling. I didn't want to leave it with those buckets still full. I waited till it never did stop raining while we were there, but it slowed down enough where it's like these buckets aren't really filling up as fast.
Right.
And then, I came in the next day and the one was like an inch from the top. I was like, we left at the perfect time last night.
Yeah. And the important thing, like you said, is like everybody was safe. Everybody got home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. So everyone, I would have been devastated if something would have happened to somebody.
Sure.
I'm glad everyone was okay. And like I said, we'll deal with the other stuff, and we'll just go on from there. And we'll just be careful around this stuff. Like I said, it does seem like they're getting more intense and things like that. So nothing you want to mess with, that's for sure. So there you go. Arnold will be fine.
Tell the story, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, Arnold will be good people. I mean, what I've seen is not the bad behavior you see in other places. I've seen people helping other people out. It's so cool to hear the stories, even of our customers helping their neighbors. You know, I got a 78-year-old neighbor, and they got a tree across their driveway. They're out there cutting it up and helping them out, and yeah.
Well, yeah, and like people's houses got damaged. I think it was like Marie Hatch posted like,
oh yeah.
Swiss cheese, they're citing crazy things happen to people's homes.
Camp, I think, had some damage too as well. You just saw.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah. Josh Dale and could go on and on. There's a bunch of them. Nate Stelmach, unfortunately, he lost both his cars and his house got damaged.
Damn.
Oh yeah, he really got hit hard. So, but again, he lived to see another day. So
yeah, it's an inconvenience, and I guess that's what insurance is for. So
right, exactly. So yeah, bad, but you just gotta get away from the why me and this is bad, and just look at it from the other perspective of, hey, things could have been worse. So yeah, that's, as long as you do that, you realize, hey, we had more good luck than bad luck. So that's for sure. So there you go. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Tim, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and on YouTube at Our Flagship Whiskey.
All right, Ryan.
Across all socials at 10th MT and Whiskey, and our website's 10thwhiskey.com. That's 10th, whiskey with an E.
Adam.
Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Old Monroe Distilling Co. and oldmonroedistillingco.com.
All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We are online, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. Got a few comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you guys.
Later.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.